Week 33.
33. How many episodes?
No, 165.
165.
165.
165 episodes.
So Guthrie causes some, not a lot of drama, just Roger doesn't trust him and doesn't want him near David, and he refuses to really help him out at all.
I'm surprised Roger doesn't just kick him out or tell him he's not allowed there or
True.
Whatever. Whatever, he just kind of tolerates him. He just lets him roam around and tells him, don't talk to David, and Guthrie just goes about his business.
Yep. Roger and Carolyn argue about who's really in charge, and Carolyn says that she's in charge, that Liz has put her in charge not only of the house, but of the business, which we didn't know before, so that didn't play well with Roger, that she's in charge of
like, well, that's
everything.
my job. Well, you don't do it. Roger never goes to he's even admitted in the past that he's not really good at it. It's not his thing. He was happy when she was going to bring Ned Calder back, and so like, why does he even care?
I don't know why he cares. Vicky tells Guthrie about David and the old house and the ghost, so he chats with David about it and becomes quick friends with,
as soon as he's like, I believe that you saw ghosts, David's like, you're my best friend.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yes. And so they head out to the old house. And Guthrie goes and wanders off.
Cobwebbier and cobwebbier every time you see it.
Guthrie wanders off, even though, like,
well, David told him that
Josette's always in that room. We're generally in that room.
Right.
So she doesn't appear to David. He asks, should I leave or should I stay? And she shows him the picture with his face in it, which he hadn't seen up to this point.
The painting that was destroyed.
Yes, the painting. So, and then Guthrie comes down. He's like, David, I was looking for you. Well, he was right where you left him, Guthrie. So
he was in the room, and then you left the room, and then came back saying, I was looking for you. Does not make any sense, Guthrie.
It does not.
Weirdo.
It seems that Liz is not getting better in the hospital, that she's the same. And Carolyn's worried.
You didn't see her, though.
We
didn't see her all this week. No, they took her away and never see her again.
Never again.
What else?
Well, like, they make plans for a sleepover, and Roger agrees to it earlier in the week.
Yes.
And then
David and Laura.
Yes, I said they. David and Laura make plans.
Yes.
For a sleepover.
Not Guthrie and Burke.
No, they don't. Although they might be having sleepovers at the hotel. We're not sure where Guthrie's staying. So then what? Guthrie
and Vicky devised a plan, sort of, to have him pretend to be a buyer to go talk to Sam.
Yes, because they think that Sam won't talk to him if he knows what's going on. Oh, I don't know why we just turned yellow.
What?
The video was just yellow for a second. I don't know.
Oh.
But then Vicky, because they're talking to Maggie first, just to kind of make sure that she thinks it's okay that they go over there.
But they still lied to her too.
They did, yeah.
that he wasn't who he is. So
then Burke grabs Vicky. Doesn't grab her. He's like, "Hey, you want to stick back with me and chat for a bit?" And so
Guthrie goes off by himself to Sam's, which is kind of awkward for him to just...
It was weird.
He knocks on the door and Sam says, go away. So he comes in, naturally, as you would do. So he shows up and comes in and pretends that he's interested in his paintings and looks around, and Sam just doesn't want him there, but whatever. He just lets him go through his things, and so very expensive, and he's trying to talk him out of it. And then he goes looking through a pile where Sam's like, those ones aren't, there's nothing over there. And he finds the burnt one with the hole in it.
Yes.
And kind of hints towards Sam that when Sam starts talking about the painting and a bit of what happened with it, and he's like, oh, well, I believe you. And he's like, what? So he's going to be his best friend too, just like David.
Everyone is. Can I turn my face and then our screen turns yellow? I don't know what's going on with it.
What? I don't know. He eventually then he revealed who he was, and admitted that he wouldn't have said that if Sam wouldn't have. I was going to say Sam wouldn't let him in if he knew who he really was, but Sam didn't anyway. He came in anyway, so it really didn't matter. Was there anything else with them, their conversation, or just
not really?
he just kind of told him who he was, and he's kind of on the case, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Guthrie went back to
The hotel.
the hotel.
And Burke is telling Vicky that Liz was at the house that night and walked in on him and Laura.
Mm-hmm.
So now Vicky knows that the last place she was, the thing that she can't remember, is that she was with Laura.
Yes, which Laura apparently denied
Mm-hmm.
that she had
seen her.
Liz. So
now she's caught in a
I don't
lie.
know why she didn't think that Burke would know, and
yeah,
people talk to Burke sometimes.
Occasionally, he wasn't in last week, but this week
yeah,
he was essential.
So
Guthrie also talked to Laura this week. They just had a weird conversation about like different worlds, and she was like, "Oh, there's enough possibilities or unknowns or whatever in this world to even think of other worlds."
Supernatural
and
stuff, but yeah,
so I don't really know what that was accomplishing, but
just a bizarre metaphysical. I guess they were just kind of talking around each other, sort of like he's kind of letting on that he sort of knows that there might be something supernatural going on, and she's kind of hinting them, well, that doesn't have to be another world, just other could be supernatural things in this world.
Mm-hmm. And then today there wasn't a whole lot of excitement for the last day of the week, I didn't think, but
yeah, it was kind of a blah episode.
Carolyn and Vicky and Roger were arguing over whether David should sleep over there, and then finally he was just like, no, he's coming, so he dropped him off there and said, I assure you that I'm in charge of David and don't worry about those two. And so he's over for a sleepover now.
Yes.
Guthrie
he brought his pajamas, and Laura set up the couch with a blanket and a pillow and everything, but then she was just sitting next to him, and he was just like leaning on her, falling asleep. And she's like, just go to sleep. Like, he's not going to change into his pajamas. He's not going to lie on the couch that you provided with the pillow. And it was just like, just sleep here, right, leaning up against me in this awkward position.
I guess so.
Guthrie
wants to do a seance, but he doesn't want Laura to even know that they suspect her or suspect anything weird is going on. So she said, don't even tell. I think so. It sounds like it, because he wants her to cooperate, he said. He said, don't even tell Roger that we are thinking anything, because they don't want him to tell her. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. There might be a fun seance next week.
Yes.
I'm guessing there will be.
Are you excited for that?
Yes. I'm excited to see what the heck happens.
And Laura got a visitor. Yes,
as David was sleeping on her, Josette came, and she was like, you can't, Laura said, you can't touch him while he's in my arms, and go away. And so she left, which I thought was surprising. What can she do? She's a ghost.
She kind of like reached toward him, and then she just kind of like, she was like stopped, and then she went away. So maybe Laura is more powerful than Josette.
Yikes.
Let's see what she's going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it? Was there anything else?
I think that was it.
Okay.
For the most part.
What are your predictions for next week?
That we're going to have a seance.
We're going to have a seance. Well, that's more Guthrie's prediction than yours.
That's true. I said I thought he'd be in for 2 more weeks, but this week not much came out of it. So I'm guessing maybe he'll be a little bit longer than I had predicted.
Extend his contract.
Yeah. What else could happen? They're going to have a seance.
What was it you predicted last week that came true? Something you predicted last week.
Right, I never remember. Oh, that Liz was going to be gone.
Liz was going to be gone.
The first time.
Yep.
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what can come out of a seance that would be exciting or something that I could guess. I mean, if Laura's there, could the other actual real Laura come, or some of the other L Murdochs? If it is her, maybe the past whatever could show up. So
interesting. See, I was thinking something along the lines of like, since Laura kind of showed how powerful she was to Josette, maybe Josette's gonna have to team up with Guthrie and Vicky or whatever to sort of be strong enough. So maybe something at the seance that maybe their combined powers can defeat Laura's powers.
Dark powers combined.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, Captain Planet, but
so I don't know. But if you said there's like other Lauras that can, maybe she can tap into that, and it'll just be this epic showdown of strange forces going on in the dark shadows of the night.
There you have it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the predictions.
Yep. We'll see if they come true.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.